Hello everybody, I'm Fred. I was diagnosed in 2017 with multiple myeloma cancer. I am really confused because that's a new one on me. How do you get it? I mean, what causes multiple myeloma? They say that 30,000 people were diagnosed in 2017 with multiple myeloma. I've met 3 people with it, and 3 of them are women. It's pretty strange. It affects everybody. I mean, white women, white men, black men, and it's something that's not, separated from anybody. Anybody can get it. I started a few different diets, and I was drinking like a lot of Metamucil to increase and go to the bathroom, flush you out, things like that, things that were high in protein. And one of the things before all this got diagnosed was that my protein levels were very high. They said it was like 120 or 130 or something like that. I went to a doctor, I've had tests done, they couldn't figure out why my proteins were high that day, and the next time, a few days later, my protein levels were back to normal. So nobody caught that I had multiple myeloma. I actually, in 2017, I had bilateral knee replacement surgery approved by 2 different doctors, a hospital, and I had the knee surgeries done. And after fracturing my left arm, they started taking x-rays and they found out that I actually have multiple myeloma. So it's like, how do you get it? Where does it start? Like, I mean, this is what I'll read through different sites. It says, while the exact cause of multiple myeloma is not known at this time, there are some factors which may increase the risk and develop the disease. The lifetime risk of getting multiple myeloma is relatively small. According to the American Cancer Society, 1 out of 161 people will get it. 1 out of 161. Well, I know 3. Besides myself. Multiple myeloma is a rare, incurable blood cancer of the plasma cells, a type of white blood cell which originates in the bone marrow. Plasma cells produce antibodies that help fight infection. Cancer plasma cells are known as multiple myeloma cells. They create abnormal antibodies called here's that word, proteins, which offer no benefit to the body. As multiple myeloma cells multiply, they crowd out normal plasma cells, which can lead to a number of signs or symptoms. Now, there's a few things I did notice, and I learned from different people that when you do pee and you get a lot of bubbles in your pee, that means your sugar's high and your protein's high, and you gotta start watching these things and try to, eat things that aren't really high in sugar, because when you get in treatment, your sugar is going to go flying off the wall. If it never did before, it will, and it will make you nuts. The other thing is, I was in a serious accident in 2006, and I do have 8 herniated discs in my back, and I never really had any kind of real treatment on that. And one of the spots was my back. The other spot was my knees, because I was up a ladder and the ladder broke, and I came 22 feet down, landing on my heels. I became like an accordion. And when you don't get treatment, I mean, just think if you had a cut on your finger, what would happen if you didn't put a Band-Aid and all the other stuff on it? Where's it go? It doesn't get better, right? It gets worse. Well, guess what? From 2006 all the way to 2017, 11 years, I'm putting this out here because I want to know if other people had injuries that were unresolved, and maybe that led to multiple myeloma. Like I said, I had the high protein levels, and in 2017 I had my treatment, which led to also fracturing my hip. I had to get a new hip put in because my leg got so tight because I had the surgeries and I couldn't move. They had me in the bed. They didn't want me moving. My hip got so tight that it just actually popped. So I mean, just a couple of warnings, like I said, if you're peeing and you see serious bubbles in there, get checked, and if your protein levels are very high, I would check and look into getting the multiple myeloma thing. I was told that my surgeries were actually a blessing, because if I didn't get the surgeries, they would have never found it. And the hospital I went to was willing to send me to like a small home, give me medication, and just let me, rest out in peace. And I kind of like fought through this thing, and I'm trying to do things like I'm building up my iron levels with spinach, regular spinach. I'm doing a lot of C vitamins, B6 vitamins, whatever. These doctors will put you on all kinds of vitamins to make sure you don't get the gout, and your flexorils, and all just different kinds of things. And you have to listen. I mean, really look around and get a different doctor. They're going to want to do a bone marrow biopsy to actually see how bad you are and what's going on. Right now, I just finished treatment number 10 for this stuff called Darzalex, and it seems to be really helping me. I mean, I was bedbound for 8 weeks. I was in a wheelchair for at least 3 weeks, maybe more. I was in a walker. I did the walker for a good month. I did the cane for a good couple of months. Right now I'm walking without a cane. I'm going up and down stairs where I had to be carried up and down stairs. So I would look for a real good oncologist and listen to what he's saying to you, and try to stick to a plan and get the treatment, And if you do have an injury that's an old injury, and you feel this injury all the time, and you start noticing your protein levels, get your proteins checked, get your thyroid checked. That's another major thing. Your thyroid, you wouldn't even think of it. Like, I never heard of it. My cousin told me, get your thyroid checked, and I did, and sure enough, there was other things going on here too. So I'm just putting this out here because I want to know if other people maybe had an injury that kind of led to other things going on. I have a doctor. He ranks himself up there because he's a very smart doctor in the oncology, and he had sent me to people that were over in Mount Sinai, who he had said that they were like number 1, number 2, number 3 doctors in the East Coast of the United States. He really ranked them up high, and I did talk to them, and I do respect their opinions on everything about the stem cell replacements, in case this ever comes back, because this is one that is treatable but not curable. So I'm listening to what he's saying, and my doctor, Dr. Iyengar in Bayonne, New Jersey, is the number 1 doctor for this multiple myeloma. I was at the highest level that you can be at, because they said if for another couple of months I might not be here today if I didn't have the knee surgeries. And right now my levels are 0.7, and I'm talking about from September of 2017, and right now we are in July of 2018, and I'm waiting on new numbers to come in. And believe me, I would love to make medical history and go to 0.0. And if anybody wants to reply to this, I will check it. I'll put it on the YouTube out there and reply. And like I said, keep an eye on your white blood count, your red blood count, your hemoglobins. And if you start really feeling unnecessary pains, like in your body, like, get it checked and get your proteins. Make sure you get your proteins checked. I hope that somebody out there is, just even one person out there, that could say, you know what, I kind of feel the same way as this guy does, and I'm going to look into, a doctor and find out why this is all happening. Believe me, I went on all kinds of diet pills trying to lose weight, figuring that I couldn't lose weight. And there's symptoms that says you do get bone pain, you get excessive thirst, which I'm always drinking a lot of water, which is good for you anyway. But they're talking about like nausea and diarrheas and so, and I don't have none of that. So if you think you have to have all like 10 symptoms to have the multiple myeloma, you don't. You just have to have a few of them. So check your you know, the bubbles. Like I said, it's a big thing, man. The bubbles inside the, you know, your urine when you're peeing, your protein levels, get them checked. I went and they filled 12 vials of blood for me, and they came back and said, you have nothing. There's nothing wrong with you. So when being told that, what do? I went and I got both knees done. So I'm trying to rehab my both knees, and all of a sudden my left arm breaks. Like, what happened here? How'd that happen? It fractured like bamboo, just like that. All right, now it's kind of, you know, freaky, and like I said, my hip went bad. There was other things going bad, but listen, stay positive. We're here to help each other. If somebody needs it, like I said, my doctor is Dr. Iyengar. He's tops for me. Even though them guys are supposed to be 1, 2, and 3, to me he's above their 1. All right, hang in there, people. Stay positive, and I hope this helps somebody, at least one person. All right, people. God bless you.